Suppose 5 years down the lane, you're practicing in a clinic. When somebody mentions about I did my course from AAE, what comes to your mind? What is the first thing you would remember here?
RCT.
Obviously, it can't be implied. No, as an atmosphere. Uh, when you think of your PG days, you don't think of periodontics, right? When you think of your PG days, you think of that APG room, your section, your chair, or that broken instrument, or maybe that canteen, a fight with your co-PGs, things like that. Like that, what is that you would remember?
I like the coffee here.
So I'll say the atmosphere of this like a very cool atmosphere where the teacher was also explaining each and every answers to you. So a very good atmosphere, I think, which we didn't even get in our college days. We were not, we didn't have the like to go and ask why it is like this. But here we could ask you whatever comes to your head.
Yeah, I would say like comfort.
Yeah, comfort, yes,
Okay.
for sure, definitely.
Anything we can ask, like free to learn, like everything is free.
Free to ask.
Free to ask.
Okay.
Very patiently teaching staff, so.
Okay. Don't bother about impressing me. What is that one thing you're going to miss? Suppose tomorrow onwards, like you're done, you're not allowed to come here. No, I missed something.
I miss us here.
Yes.
Because we had a very good rapport. Four of us had a very good rapport. Something I miss is that.
And on daily basis.
Yeah, daily basis we do discuss a lot about cases and what happens if something. If you know extra, we would tell you. If he knows,
That's very good.
keeps telling us.
So it's like a whole team, like
Yes, we had a very good rapport. All four.
Discussing everything, like, yeah.
you miss those discussions. Anything in specific apart from your group? Like I miss my table, like when I don't come here, I miss my table.
I think I'll miss
This-
clinical.
this-
I
More we used to enjoy in the preclinical.
Yeah.
The place where
Yeah.
Yes.
I miss the fragrance here, and somehow I love the fragrance here, and it lights me up the moment I come.
And the music also is
Yeah.
there here.
And trust me, that is for me. Like I want to be relaxed, and hence that whole thing. We didn't want to give a college feeling. Then, if I say before you joined it, there were some honest doubts. Like, is it a right decision? Was it worth investing the time, money, and the gap and the thing? Because like I had a little liberty to come a little late and this thing, but you don't have that liberty. Every day you have to plan everything and come. Was it worth? First question. The second thing is, in the scale of like 0 to 10, like, what was it? Like you got it. Like I expected this much, I got less, or maybe I expected this much, I got this much. What is it? Was it worth? If it is worth, how much worth it was?
Like when initially I planned joining here, I had a doubt about the patience part because I wanted more patience. But that actually turned around a lot. Like we could do so much because I think maybe because we are only four of us, like every day. And I asked ma'am also like if can I extend another 2 more weeks to do, and they agreed also. So that actually I made me really happy about it. Like I don't mind working till hours or anything, but that
You
I
had
got
sufficient
it.
clinical
Yes.
exposure and
Yes.
patient thing.
We could try everything at least, like RCT 2-3 cases, then how to, and I always used to see only the periodontium part. Now I could see how can relate a lot of things.
I'm sure that now the periodontics has become more interesting
More,
from this
yes.
angle, right? Like the whole.
So now I feel the diagnosis part is much better now. Like
Correct.
I won't say
You know the implications.
but yeah, now it's little more better. I used to only say, okay, this is chronic, this is localized, how to do this. Now the endo part has come inside, then yeah, you can do something else. because now you know the endo part, what it is.
And at the end of the day, it's the extension of the same tissue.
Yes.
What about?
For me, when I joined 3-day endomotor course, I was so impressed. Then and I had a doubt what to do, so I called Dr. Shweta, and she told me not to go for 3 months course because you have an experience. Go for 6 weeks, and whatever you want extra, you can just join other course, which gave me so much of confidence. And then I didn't look back and just joined the course. So completely worthy, I would say.
So before joining this course, I had this, like everyone says that while doing university you will perforate and all. I had that fear of perforation, like literally. But after joining this course, like that is the first thing I left behind. Like right now I don't have any fear of perforation.
Any tooth, any this thing, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Technique does.
Yeah, the technique. Like that was the biggest fear in university for me, sir.
Even
Sir, I had a gap of 6 years. I haven't practiced, so I was really scared to come and work here also. To touch the patient, I was really scared. Now that is not there. I've learned a lot. I can confidently do RCTs, I can say.
the best thing is in your work that gap is not seen.
Mm.
Generally, when people take a gap and come, it is like little,
Yes.
that is influence their skills and all those things. In your case, it was like very good. As if you've been working for some time. That was. We did have a little concern, like how will she quickly adapt? You adapted it very well. Now, going forward, are coming to the clinical aspect. Did you ever feel that I have been not given a sufficient free hand to do the case? Be honest. Or did you feel that okay, even if there's some hurdles, there is somebody who can come and manage this? Was it a free will to work on the patient? Was it like very controlled environment? Controlled environment, like you are not supposed to expose a pulp during the cavity cutting. You know that what teacher is going to behave. You are not supposed to do tearing the tissues or whatever it is, perforations and things like that. Was there a pressure? I honestly wonder. Was there a pressure on you to perform to the specific level? Or is it like, was there a kind of like, okay, let me do my best. I can still manage if something goes wrong. What was it? Did you get the question?
Yeah, I understood the question. So initially when we started with the cases, so each and every step, obviously when they don't know how we are going to do the work, so obviously that concern was that each and every time they used to come and see whether it is going fine. And I still remember Jim Gautami, is it going okay? She keeps asking. I'm like, yes, it is fine, ma'am. Then she keeps asking the question. It's all good, no? I said, yes. So that initial. But then last week now they are like, okay, now you guys know.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
now take the working. It's fine, no? Now they don't even cross check. They're like, okay, this people know.
No.
I think no one, they don't cross check any one of us. They're like, okay, fine. Now they know. So that gradual change has.
You want to add?
Very comfortable.
It's very comfortable. And the dedication part, which is really good. Sir.
Always
Something I
available.
really like about the place, the dedication. Each and every minute step is important.
For us, the personally, not just a training. The moment if somebody takes an admission, for me, what matters is like how are they going to end up practicing all by themselves. So I keep telling my team that don't over control them. Let them be in their most comfortable zone and tempt them or encourage them to do the mistakes. Let them do the mistake. We are there. End of the day, I can manage anything. They should have that confidence that, okay, I'm not under the pressure of performance. That's where the things will go wrong. Remember that. Our exam day cavities are worse than our regular cavities. Because we're under pressure to perform. Here, we didn't want to bring that. And I consciously make sure that I don't come to the clinical side just to make sure that if I come there for two reasons, either because of the sheer respect what you have for me, or maybe because of the age difference factor, there will be a kind of influence on you. Sir is there, I'm supposed to. He's watching me, he's doing the thing. That was my biggest concern. I used to be there for many clinical hours, and then I withdrew myself to make sure that, okay, you are comfortable. End of the day, I'm not there, Jabba will not be there, you have to do all by yourself. Towards the end, why we don't monitor? Because if I keep on monitoring, if I keep on making you work, if I keep on guiding you, then you'll stop thinking. But when nobody is there, when you have to do all by yourself, that's the same thing that is going to happen in your own clinical, right? So it'll be like exactly as confident as you were here, that is the confidence level you're going to take it to your clinical side. What is that one thing that, since I know this part, I can manage most of my cases? What maybe 1 or 2 points? Like those points, what I learned here has changed my perception towards dentistry, or perception towards treatment, or it actually helped me to overcome my fear. I want all of you to answer. What is that? Since I know these things, now I'm better equipped, better clinician. What are those things? Obviously, you don't perforate because you know the level of pulp.
Yeah.
Like that. Crown cuttings are no more, like just a grinding. Now you know the reason why it has to be that high, why that impression must be taken like that. Like that, is there anything that?
One thing I'll say, that each and every step what Dr. Jeba does, with so much of precision, इतना ही निकालना है orifice से, इतना ही होना चाहिए. That cleanliness in the work, I will take back for sure. So that is something really I see her, and the way she does it, I'm going to definitely take that.
Irrigation protocol
Yeah,
is something
irrigation.
which
Everyone-
I just know the 2 syringes there, 1 sodium hypo, just to finish it off. That's how I have seen, I've only seen few people doing it. But now, right now, that green color syringe is there for the sodium, then the red is for the hypo, and then again
In fact, in
sodium.
our
Then
own
DDT.
clinic also, we are going to do that. I guess.
Same thing, we
Green
thought,
color
okay,
is
it's
for
good
exercise.
actually, tape and
For
keep.
Trust
And
me,
then-
if I visit your clinic, you will be replicating everything
Yes,
except camera and
yes.
this thing.
So that standardization you have
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
for us.
And
I
then
think.
the calcium hydroxide part. I even didn't know that there is something called as light cure is there
Light cure and-
for it, and we have a powder, we have a paste form. So yes.
What about you, man? How about this? Did you ever feel that I was not given sufficient material, equipment,
Not
instrument?
Never.
So that 3 days course only, I was so impressed कि everything was given. I was like,
No, when we expected that, okay, maybe sometimes we might have to buy some materials and keep, because obviously there will be, if we want to do more, then we have to. So then that was not.
Suppose if somebody offers you a job, or somebody gives you an opportunity to head the clinic, would you still think about that opportunity, or would you like ready to take up that?
Ready to get.
I can manage.
I can manage.
Do you feel confident that, see, end of the day, what the whole team is there behind me, and they would help me if there is any issue. I can always go back and get a guidance, which we didn't feel during our colleges. And if there is a surgery problem after the graduation, can I ever give a call to my teacher and ask, like, what do I do? That connection wasn't there. So that is what we are trying to establish here. Like even post course, you are our extension of the knowledge and the skill. You need to perform. You didn't pay this fees for learning for yourself, right? You wanted to treat a patient, and treat a patient in a good way, in a specific way. And then you joined a course so that you can do a justice to a person who trusted you and paid the fees, right? That's the whole idea. That only I can see. Now, for you, it feels like I have joined this course to learn the RCT. For me, no. You have not joined for that. You want to deliver that work to a patient, and that patient, if he is not happy going back to the comfort feeling. That means you did something wrong, that means I did something wrong. So it's a chain reaction that goes. Hence, a little, you must have seen the tiny details also I was mentioning. You must have heard it, was that detail really needed for that part? But when you're working, you would really, you have no idea how much we have tampered your mind. When you start working all by yourself, you will know exactly like why that specific mirror, why that probe has to be like that, why that tweezer has to be like that, why that arrangement has to be in that way, why the bird has to be that bird only. Will you ever forget the TR20?
No.
I'm glad, I'm very happy that specifically this batch we were more relaxed. Because sometimes it happens that we are more tensed with the batch. Not just the performance and teaching is, for us, it's an easy part. When they don't get along, then what happens is when the course is getting over, when am I leaving, when am I, so that pressure wasn't there. And luckily what happened, we could give more cases than what was promised. And that is better than saying that, say 7 and give a 5. So say 7 and give 10, right? That's what we always want to do. When we say 15, we know that we can fetch a little more than that. Extra always feels good than promising something and then cutting it. Something like that. I'm glad that you all chose. You gave us an opportunity. For me, it is it's a very critical part of your lives, right? I'm the last person who get to meddle with your academic and professional side of the thing. And for me, that's a serious responsibility because if I mess it up, there's going to be a lot of things that's going to affect your trust about the profession, your trust about your own self and your own performance, and then your end product is another human being, right? That means somebody will be affected because of me not giving out the right information. Hence, we select the staff in that mode only. Not just having a skill and knowledge, but you should be able to share your mistakes. You should be able to stand by them when they need it, not just finishing the course. That was our whole matter. Are we happy with the overall performance of the thing? We are never happy with the overall thing. We still feel that we could have done some more, we could have done this one, we could have done a little more, sort of a thing. But consoling factor for us, like anyway, it is like probably this is not the end of our relation. Technically, it begins now, like where you have to depend. Two things what I'm going to promise is like, one is we as a team, or me as Raghu, I'm there behind you. No matter what is the complication you face, I know how to manage it. If I don't know, I can get the information across the globe. I have the contacts, I can bring in that information. That means that part is taken care of. Like if there's a complication, how do I manage? You don't have to manage. You let me know. I'll help you. Then, what about the thing in future? Here there was a guided way of mentoring you and taking you through the process. So we will also take that responsibility of like, in future, what if there are changes? What if there are newer things? How will you come to know? Unless somebody by fluke mentions it or something, there should be a specific programmed way of updating ourselves, right? So our group actually helps in that regard. We're going to add it to our study group, where if there are any difference in the concepts of what we have taught, possible, right? When we started our courses around 11 years back and what we are teaching, there is at least 30% change. But what about the first student that joined, how will you ever? So we make sure that that person is also aware of that newer thing. So that you are updated. The reason why I'm specific on that updated knowledge is like, that is the confidence for the competence. That means that when you start practicing, there's going to be a lot of competition. And why do you feel you're better? Why do you feel that you deserve better fees? Why do you feel that you can manage everything? Because you know stuff. And that has to be outsourced. In the rest of the world, what is happening? That responsibility is taken over by the association, dental associations and things like that. Unfortunately, here we have some not so efficient method to learn those things. Hence, our study group and our digital library and all those things will make sure that whatever the updated things are there. What if somebody says like, 40 seconds of curing may harm the thing, and now the standard is not more than 8 seconds. I'm just hypothetically mentioning. How will you ever come to that? As a teaching thing, I need to be updated myself, and if I get any such information, that will be shared with you. So when we add to our group, that group is specifically for case discussions and thing, and there may be a possibility like sometimes you don't want to ask that question in the group. It is possible. You may not be very comfortable. So in that time, you can specifically choose whom you want to do. Atish, myself, Jabba, Shweta. You can personally message. And that's not an obligation for us. You're not obligated for that. You have that right to ask that, and we have that knowledge and the source to help you. If not, we will make sure that you get that information. If anybody ever questions your method of doing it, why are you doing this? It is like I've never seen anybody doing this. Endodontist will be your biggest critic. So we can provide all the literature, documents, and things saying that why it has to be done like that. So whatever you have learned, it is backed up by the literature. None of it is my own version. I have not taught you my version of endodontics. I have taught you what is the global endodontics, what you are supposed to practice. Only contradictory thing what we do here is the rubber dam use. I personally feel rubber dam is not a great tool. Statistically, the difference is 89 and 91. That means that when you don't use a rubber dam, you have 89%, 89.7%, and when you use a rubber dam, it's 91%. It's a 1.5% difference. So whoever is using a rubber dam, they feel that rubber dam is bringing the success. No, rubber dam is for a protection. Yeah, good. I do agree with that. It is a great thing. But you can never forget where you're practicing, right? In terms of from when it comes to Indian, I have seen great practitioners failing miserably just because they insisted every patient that you have to wear a rubber dam. Patient didn't like it. They continue that. So I have my own concerns. Hence, I was not stressing upon that point. Isolation is the key. Rubber dam is not the key for success. Okay. Then, only thing what you had was your assistant was another doctor, right? She exactly know where to help you. So that is what you should keep in mind, that your trainer should exactly know not just how to assist and why they have to do that. Then they will exactly do that part, because the moment I take a red syringe, my assistant knows that now I have to have a suction before he starts the process. At the moment I take masticone X-ray, there's somebody is already mixing the sealer. They know that thing. Or it goes to an extent sometimes they exactly know, they don't even mix the sealer. Okay, there's a chronic case anyway, so they won't obturate this one. They'll give a Metaplex and GP. So they would have. So that kind of a system bringing in, especially when you have your own clinic, your assistant should be your half brain. He knows what you do. Then the efficiency default comes. Efficiency default taken care. So these are the things you need to be a little more careful. One more last tip as a clinical thing. Forget about opening the clinic. That comes later part. Please have websites in your own names. Just maybe Dr. Raghunarayan.in or Shweta, the best dentist in the world in .com. You can whatever. That has to happen first, and then that should be near everything. And then the clinic comes. Don't ever make a clinic website. That's gone time. That's not the thing. World should know that you're present. World should know that you're available. I'm going to give you one more facility to you. Before you open a clinic, if you have any of your personal cases, if you want to treat them, bring them to our clinic. You give them saying that I have a clinic there, you come there and I will treat you. So all equipment, instruments, everything will be kept ready for you. you can do your cases. If you're taking a gap, use that facility. Get your friends, relatives, anybody who want to chat. Probably will just tell you the material cost, what is required for you. We don't want your profit also, but we want you to be completely engaged on the clinicals until you find the job or until you find it. Okay. Keep working. Make sure that you have a website. Make sure you have visiting cards made. You can definitely mention your graduation, the advanced endodontics from AAE in the visiting card. Nobody can stop you there. These are a skill enhancement. Even court says that there's nobody in India except BDS and MDS, no other degrees, officially qualified, including the. Remember that FRCS, MFDS, RCS, all those things, they are not recognized degrees. But don't we mention that? PhD should not be mentioned or visiting card on a professional thing. But don't we mention our PhD? So all those things are. Our visiting card is not a legal obligation. So you can definitely mention. I wish you all the best, and so I'm supposed to talk there.